Hello everybody and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program, where we are basically ready to take the Griffin 1X to the moon. I'm gonna double check the crew. I restarted the game. Jebediah, Bill, Bob, yeah, that seems fine. And now let's just go ahead and send this to the pad. We're gonna double check our staging before we launch, but we're gonna just get on out of here. Now, we do need to get to a particular biome, right? So we should probably go ahead and double check which biome this green sandstone is on. I think we'll do that after we get into orbit, because this doesn't actually say. So yeah, that's gonna be our target, I think. So let's double check our staging. So we've got our 5 engines firing up at the beginning. Our side tanks split off using the kind of Soyuz separation method there. That will be fine. And then our main core splits off after that in the next stage, and our maneuvering stage fires, as well as the nose cones up here. They split off as well at that same time. And they're probably going to impact the re-entry module, and they're probably going to explode. Just fair warning on that one. Let's see. After that, of course, we detach the maneuvering stage, and we fire the landing stage. And then we detach off the landing stage's extra fuel tanks. These fuel tanks will be plenty to land on the moon, and probably come back. This is overbuilt, don't get me wrong. And then after that, we will detach off this stage here, which exposes our heat shield. Now, one thing I am a little bit concerned about, and in fact, we're going to run this in a quick simulation. So I'm going to be reverting this to launch after we do this, but I do want to try decoupling this TD12 decoupler right now. Okay. And now I want to see, are we still attached with the air brakes? SAS on. Yeah, we're actually stuck in here. Okay. The air brakes are not connected. As I said, this is just a simulation. I just wanted to check that. So we will go back to vehicle assembly and fix that issue. Specifically, we need to be moving these air brakes, which should in fact be quad-coupled. And I think I'm going to place them more like here. Like that, they will definitely be correctly positioned on our stage. So we'll save that, and we'll go ahead and launch this. So that should fix that small issue. And otherwise, I think we are completely good to go. So let's turn our SAS off. We will throttle up. Jeb, Bill, and Bob are all here. That looks perfect. So off we go. You know, I didn't put fins on this. We're going to be tumbling. Okay, this is going to change our ascent profile. We'll have to do that after the mission. Okay, I'm a moron. This is a real launch, though. This is not a simulated launch. We could revert at this point, or just abort it. Or we could just say this is a test launch. If we need to abort it, we can abort it. If not, we can just keep going, and we can fix the issue that we know is going to exist. So you'll notice I'm not trying to gravity turn right now. There's a reason for that, and that reason is because we're going to tumble. I can't believe I forgot the control surfaces. Well, we can at least gauge our apoapsis off of this first stage. 20 kilometers so far. That seems decent. Make that 30. Make that 40. Yeah, it's just an EVA report. And yeah, that nice Soyuz decoupling method. That works wonderfully. I like that a lot. You'll notice I'm still not trying to gravity turn. Just trying to get as much height as possible. We have very little thrust to weight here. So let's just try to get this. Hopefully we don't start tumbling. The aerodynamics seem okay so far, I guess. If we had tried this earlier, we definitely would have tumbled. Well, we're going to have to lean pretty heavily on our maneuver stage to get us into orbit. There's no doubt about that. I'm not sure we have enough speed, actually. Luckily, this is an experimental launch. We are barely going up in speed now. We are going up in speed, so that's something. We may end up having to replace this swivel with a non-gimbaling engine. I suspect we will have to, and the swivel is really the only reason we didn't tumble there. If we replace the swivel with control surfaces and a non-gimbaling engine, that'll give us a little bit more thrust throughout this portion, which would be good. Because, yeah, we don't really have the thrust to weight to pull this off. Okay, good to know. Now, we might be able to continue burning up a little bit at, like, as expected. Those blowing up. We might be able to continue burning here and get our apoapsis up a little bit. Like, if we had continued burning at this point. But, I think instead, let's see, we're not going to be exiting the atmosphere right now. I think we're just going to lock to retrograde right now. And we're just going to call an abort on this. And we'll fix these issues, and we'll try this again. We'll try to bring back just as much as we possibly can. But for right now, we just need to kill as much velocity as possible. And that is exactly what we're doing. Although, realistically, what's our current thrust to weight? 0.3? We're going to be aiming this straight up. We're only going to be working on our vertical speed. We're not going to be working on our horizontal speed. Our horizontal speed right now can be bled off entirely via air resistance. So we'll just chill right here. And a lot of this speed that we're building up right now is vertical speed. This engine is not very efficient at this point. I'm going to move these stages down here. There we go. And we can also deploy our aero brakes, which would probably be a good thing to do. I'm just going to go ahead and cut this, and we are going to go retrograde. And we'll see how effective these aero brakes are. And we'll also see just how effective our abort procedure is. Wow. These are very effective. Drogue shoots out. We can have SAS off at this point. Main shoot out. So, I mean, this re-entry is extremely effective. Perhaps too effective. We're going to go ahead and warp downward a little bit here. Parachutes will be deploying shortly. Whew. That joint was exciting. We'll have our other parachute deploying as well. There we go. Let's see what our final speed gets down to. 22 meters per second. Yeah, that's definitely on the fast side. We're going to burn off as much as we can, but we're not going to eject any of this We'll see what survives. Very little is the answer. Luckily, our Kerbals survived. So we're going to go ahead and have Bob EVA grab a surface sample. There we go. And somehow this survived. We'll recover this. So that was kind of an abject failure. There were a few reasons for that, obviously. And I think we have a decent plan for fixing them. So, yep, that's all fine. I think we may have a little debris over here still. No, we do not have any tracked debris. Okay, that's fine. In that case, we will just fix those issues and try it one more time. In we go. Okay, so first things first, let's take a look at our center of mass versus aerodynamics. Of course, we have no aerodynamics right now, so I just want to put on a quick control surface, quad-coupled here, and that's very high indeed. Okay, so we're going to need to move our center of mass, or rather, if we move this, it'll move the center of mass, but it'll also move this. That is incredibly high. So maybe we should only have this bicoupled. I don't want this quad-coupled. Just, like, put a single one on right here. And, of course, that's going to make it kind of wacky. But... actually, we need more, not fewer, to lower this aerodynamic center down. So we're going to quad-couple this, and we are going to place it here. And we're going to duplicate that and place it here-ish, approximately. Okay, we're now right inside of there. I mean, we could do that. That would do the trick. Just snapping these into position here. That feels like overkill, but it's really not. So there's that problem solved. Now the other problem, of course, is that these are reliants, and this is a swivel. So we are going to ditch this swivel, and we're going to put in another reliant, and we're going to rely on the control surfaces while we're in ascent, using our ascent stage to go up. Okay, let's double check our staging, because we did change things. So these 5 engines burning at once, that does up our thrust to weight quite a lot. And then those all detach, that looks good. We didn't change anything up here. So this should all be the same, but I'm just double checking. Yeah, that looks fine. Okay. So let's see how this goes. We should, in theory, have some better thrust to weight. What is our thrust to weight going to be when we detach? 0.66. That's quite low. I'd love to have a more powerful engine here. I don't suppose we have one. Do we? Not in this size. Like, we could have a vector there if we had the tech, but we don't have that. So I think it's basically this or bust. Also, this looks ridiculous. I can't believe it took that many winglets to move our aerodynamic center. Okay, let's try this. We should have slightly better thrust to weight, as I accidentally minimized the game instead of checking our thrust to weight. 1.4 is our starting thrust to weight. Okay. That's definitely better feeling. We're going to need more vertical speed, though, for sure. Okay, time to apoapsis is increasing right now. I'm going to see how this feels. Just a tiny amount of pitch. Yeah, it doesn't like it because of the lack of gimbaling, but that's fine. We're just looking for the smallest amount of turn at this point. Apoapsis of 11 kilometers. Like, our initial apoapsis, when we're in this stage, was fine. It was when we detached these engines that we had a major issue with thrust to weight. And we're still going to have an issue with thrust to weight. But I think it'll be a reasonable issue with thrust to weight. Is what I hope. See if we can correct some of that roll. And off goes our side boosters. Excellent. Ah, right. Yeah, I should have expected that. In all honesty. I really, really should have. Okay, so that's something that we are going to have to adjust. So we are going to go ahead and continue burning up this way and hope that we can arrest this roll in time. Without gimbaling, it's kind of tough, though. Yeah, we're going to have to cut this burn and do another tumble. So I'm going to move some of those control surfaces off of the side boosters and onto the main core for this reason. I really should have considered that, and I don't know why I didn't. Okay. We're probably going to have to abort this again. Because of this. This is relatively uncontrollable, and it takes us so long to roll back. I don't know, maybe we can recover it, but it's going to be tough. We're going to have to start burning now. Yeah. So I'm actually going to do this the fast way. I'm going to revert this back. Revert to vehicle assembly. And we're going to fix that. But we are also going to open up the cheat menu here. And we're going to deduct the cost of that. So it's like we recovered it, but faster. So it's what? 52K? So that's going to be awkward. I'll just continue doing this until we're at like 745. I think that'll be about right. Okay, close enough. That'll do the trick. So, we are then going to move these control surfaces here. They're still going to be quad coupled, so there's still going to be 4 of them. And we're going to place them right here. And hopefully, when we detach, they don't get destroyed. What does that do to our center of aerodynamics? That still looks good. Okay, that should solve that issue. So we will go ahead and launch this. And we just aborted that last flight. And we recovered it just fine, as we did previously. Okay, double check that staging. Surely I'm not forgetting anything now. But I probably am because I'm a complete and total moron. So, off we go. And this time, I strongly suspect that we will land on the moon. I definitely think that we will. Yeah, this is looking good so far. We'll go ahead and start pitching over a little tiny bit, not much at all. We do not need very much sideways momentum at this juncture. Ooh, if that had stayed there, I would have been content. Apoapsis of 10 kilometers. Our heading is a little off. We'll fix our inclination on the way up a little bit higher up. And let's see if we can adjust that roll a little. There we go, 30 kilometers. We're about to flame out. So I'm holding. Perfect. Okay. Now with this, I have no idea if this is still going to be aerodynamically stable, but it seems like it is. I'm just trying to get to about 45 degrees right now. Our apoapsis is still going up pretty quickly. Our thrust to weight is not amazing, but we're just looking for altitude at this point more than anything. There we go. Time to apoapsis is going down right now, so I'm just going to burn here at prograde and adjust our heading a little bit. I think we are going to be pretty inclined. Yeah, we need to fix that for sure. Apoapsis is currently in space, so we are going to head for the horizon while working on our inclination. What is going on with this liquid fuel? Every time that I rotate, it's going all over the place. Okay, closing that appears to have fixed it. Excellent. How's our inclination? Our inclination is looking good. Let's get back to the exact heading that we need to be on. 90 degrees. Okay, just trying to hold here. And get just as much speed as we possibly can out of this stage, which we are about done with. And there it goes. As expected, these launch themselves directly into the re-entry module and blow themselves up. That is 100% planned. Well, it's not exactly planned, but we knew it would happen. Okay. Time to apoapsis is decreasing. Hopefully we have enough time here. We do need to get moving like 1,400 more meters per second. We still have a thrust to weight issue. Don't get me wrong. But I'm hopeful that we can get enough speed. Although, I mean, this thrust to weight is still pretty bad. We may want to get rid of this interstage. Like, it gives us a ton of delta V, but we just don't have the thrust to weight down below to lift it. Yeah, I mean, we need another kilometer per second of DV. We're going to be re-entering. Like, we need to be burning over here if we're going to make this. Our tech is still a little on the low side for this. Yeah, this is actually not going to work. So I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm just going to save us a little bit of time and revert back and take off at this point down to about 700,000. So about like that, just a quick time saver. And let's just take a look at what we've got available. Not a whole lot. So let's jump out of here and see if we can maybe get some more thrust to weight. If not, we'll have to get rid of that interstage. And that should get us what we need. Let's see. Yeah, we just don't have the tech for that or this. I mean, a skipper would get us there. Skippers have gimbaling now? Interesting. Unfortunately, we are shy some science. We could probably get that science. Or we could do like I was saying and just get rid of this interstage right here. Or at least cut it down. Like, we could cut this stage potentially in half. Take this down to a T400. And that would probably get us there. Because we're carrying this fuel a long ways, and that's a lot of fuel. If we cut that in half, that would probably end up doing the trick. That puts us up to 1.44 thrust to weight. This stage would be 0.7. Yeah, we could do that. We can give that a go and see how that ends up panning out. But I'm not going to cut this quite yet. I would normally cut it here, but I feel like we haven't accomplished anything. So, I want to at least get this thing into orbit. Right now. Off we go. That feels better still. With the tech that we're going to get coming back from the moon, we're absolutely going to have the engines to do what we want to do here. So that'll be fine, and we'll be able to cut down on quite a lot of this, and it'll just generally be better. But for right now, that is not going to... Whoa. Whoa now. Okay. There. Got that under control, mostly. Stay put. Are you good? You're good. Okay. That was exciting. That was very, very exciting. I guess I started the gravity turn a little sooner than usual. No, I don't want to turn quite that fast. An 89-degree heading, just going to fix that a little bit. Okay. I mean, this is looking decent so far in terms of thrust to weight. We've managed to get quite a lot of speed here, comparatively anyway. And those go off. And our thrust to weight immediately becomes absolute garbage. But it's more... Well, it's quite a bit better than it was previously. It was very bad previously. It's still pretty bad, but it's less bad. We're going to sit at 45 degrees here for a little bit. We've still got a decent amount of burn time here, 70 seconds, so that'll be fine. Time to apoapsis is just holding at 1 minute 10 seconds right now. If it starts dropping, we're going to need to go for the prograde marker. Okay, it's rising. That's a really good sign. We are out of the atmosphere in the apoapsis, which means that we have enough vertical speed. We now need to be transitioning to full horizontal speed. And look at this orbital velocity. This is so much better. The thrust to weight was 100% the issue, of course. We knew that was the issue, but this should still be plenty of fuel to get us there. And once we have the science, we'll be able to get big orange tanks, skippers, mainsails, all the stuff we need to really go places. In a hurry. How's our eccentricity looking? Or rather, not eccentricity, our inclination. 0.1 degrees? Okay. We can work on fixing that. That is something that we can't work on fixing. At least not right now. This stage is only going to get us 300 meters per second. With that being the case, I have to wonder why it even exists. Yeah, it just doesn't have the thrust to weight needed. We would need this to be a, rather than a terrier, we would need this to be a poodle for this stage to make sense, I think. That said, we only need 1 kilometer per second more to get into orbit. We've still got a fair amount of time out of the atmosphere. So maybe we can make this work. We've got another 165 meters per second in this tank. And then, of course, this. And this thrust to weight should be a decent chunk higher and increasing all the time. So yeah, if we eliminate this stage entirely, we might be able to single stage to orbit, but if we had a better engine, we definitely could. This is definitely an ambitious project for this tech level. Okay. So we're going to be entering the atmosphere here. That's okay. That is okay. Our apoapsis is still increasing. I mean, at this point we have to abort this, right? So that's fine. And unfortunately, I am forced to put a cut in here just due to potential file size. Again, I feel like we didn't actually get anything done, but we learned some important lessons, and that is that we kind of don't have the tech for that interstage at this point. So I'm just reverting that and doing that number so that we can just get rid of this interstage entirely. Wait, hang on. Get rid of it here. Okay. There we go. And I'm going to put that cut in, and next episode, we'll try it like this. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and I will see you all next time.